Okay, this is how I'm spending my quarantine. Yes, with the sweet little baby. That is my granddaughter. I'm finding interesting ways to keep myself busy. I've been doing some coping cards. I'll show you what those are later. And lots of changing diapers, and lots of feeding the baby, lots of crying. Yeah, lots of crying, huh, honey? And we're not totally quarantined, so we have been able to get out of the house and take walks. But basically, our city is shut down, except for essential workers. So basically, restaurants, grocery stores, gas stations, you know. I think the only major thing that is really shut down is like you can't go into restaurants. You can go, some places have curbside pickup, some have like, um, you can go in the restaurant, you can order your food, you can pick up your food, but you have to leave. Um, some laundromats are open. The one we go to is closed down, which kind of sucks because they use these like laundry cards. So basically, you load money onto them and then you just put it in the machine. Well, since we're on such a fixed income, um, we just fill the card up for the month. Come on, let's eat. And then, so our laundry budget is basically frozen. And this little one, who sleeps with grandma and grandpa in the bedroom, because our apartment is really small, um, has been sleeping pretty good. She is officially 5 months, and she has she's 16 pounds 10 ounces. Sarah Ann. 16. That's what I just said. Oh. And then she's eating like a champ. We're still working on tummy time because she hates that. But we really, that's basically how we've been spending our little quarantine type situation. Thank goodness that we are not like quarantine because that would really suck. So we can still leave the house. We can still go for walks. Just that we can't, use social distancing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. The only thing that has truly been um, really getting on my last dang nerve is the fact that a lot of the products that I buy once a month, um, I can't find, like my Charmin. I mean, I still don't get the whole hoarding toilet paper thing. It's ridiculous. And I think the entire nation is with me on this. We haven't had a lot of cases in Greene County. We've had, I think, 10 and 3 or 4 deaths. But those deaths were We had an infection go through a nursing home, Morningside Nursing Home, like an assisted living type place. And it there was like 3 residents who were infected, and I think 3 of those died. One was 70, one was 90, and I don't remember what the other one was. But after the second person died at that nursing facility, um, that's when they decided to shut down Springfield. Now what they did was, at first, it was just after the first case that they found here. What happened was, they decided to close businesses, non-essential businesses, down for 2 weeks. And you know, um, and then they went and, after the second person died here in Greene County, what they did was they said, okay, we're going to shut down Springfield for the next 30 days. So basically, they came out with a lot of ordinances, and if you're caught breaking one of these ordinances, you can get, like, I think, an $1,200 fine and 180 days in jail. So that's been real fun. We were a little unsure, because they cut the bus schedules, which for a lot of people, that's their mode of transportation, and which includes us. So they stopped running the buses now at 8 o'clock at night. They run the weekend schedule, which is only 4 buses. And so it's a little bit complicated. But at the same time, how are you supposed to, keep up with social distancing on mass transit when you have these buses are stuffed full because they've reduced from like 14, 15 buses that run every 30 minutes to 4 buses. I'll be right back. I've got to put the baby down. Okay, so I just realized that I have no eyebrows on, so while I'm talking, I'm gonna put some eyebrows on. So, and this video is a little bit different because, I'm not really doing a makeup thing. My eyebrows are going to be a little wonky. I don't care. And pardon me, just a moment. So, sorry about that. My granddaughter's a little fussy today. You know, so I know that a lot of places like New York and California and stuff are a lot worse off in Seattle than we are here. The only big major changes is that my daughter is trying to find a job in the midst of all this, and this is a little difficult. And then, a lot of stuff with Marty and I hasn't really changed because we're retired, so we don't work outside the home. I do go to school, but it's online. So that really hasn't changed. I've been having a lot of problems with my internet, so doing my studies is a little difficult. But I do have the physical books to do them. You know, I never thought in a million years that I would see anything like this, in the US. I mean, yeah, we've seen China go through stuff like this before with SARS and the bird flu and everything. But I never thought that, you know, I was going to be having issues finding just toilet paper. I mean, it kind of feels like reminiscent of what life would have been like if we were living back, during World War II when they were having, rationing and all this other stuff. And if this goes on much longer, I won't be surprised if something like that happens. I mean, they're already starting to limit the quantities of things you can buy at the grocery store, as far as meats and toilet paper, obviously, has been going on, and certain things like that. But it's just so shocking to me. And I'm a very social bird. And so it's been a little hard not to be able to go to church and, see my church family. That's been a little difficult because that's usually the one time of the week that I actually get out of the house. I mean, like really out of the house, not just for a walk or anything, but literally away from the house for several hours. So, it's kind of difficult for me. And I'm bipolar and I'm manic depressive. So, um, I really need that social contact. So that's been just a load of laughs. When I was talking about making cards, see if I can show you an example. I usually have them all over my desk. I'll be right back. So when I was talking about these cards, they're called calming cards. And if you're crafty, like I am, they're really fun to make. And what I did is I took cardstock on the back and papers on the front, stickers on it, wrote things on it. This one says, just breathe, inhale, exhale. This is the card that I used when I was having surgery because I was having a spasm attack. But it just says cute little things on it. Hola, which, because my first name is Lola, I would say, hola, Lola. Just make today amazing. Smile. Inhale confidence. Exhale doubt. I really love that one. Just make today happen. Get it, girl. Yay for today. And then on the top it says, keep calm. And another example of coping cards is the next, and I make them the same way. They're double-sided. And I usually use like the little cardstock packs that have the adhesive on the back. And this one is about being strong. And it says, I am strong, confident, and kind. On the back it says, you're stronger than you think, with butterflies, which kind of does make me calm because that was, I don't know what's going on with my hair. That was one of my mom's favorite things was butterflies. Yeah. And on the front it says, be strong. And then after I adhere the two pieces of cardstock or paper together, then I write on them, and I put encouraging stickers on it. It says, so blessed, dance to your own beat, which is something my mom used to tell me all the time. Be in the now. You are capable of amazing things. Love, let's go on an adventure and love my life. So these are two examples of coping cards. And the way that you can use these, I have high anxiety. So the way I use them is when something is freaking me out or stressing me out really bad. I have more of these, but for the life of me, don't know where they're at. I put them everywhere. I put some on my lamp up here. I put some on that board back there. Right there. And I usually always have a couple on the desk or hanging on the wall. And I'm making more. But the way you can use these is if you have a lot of anxiety and you're going to your doctor's office, you're having a procedure, or there's something that you're really nervous about. Sometimes just going to the doctor can make a lot of people with anxiety have more anxiety. So I just look at these cards and I read them over and over and over again. And I take the cues from the back, like just breathe, inhale, exhale. And if you like to do crafts, this would be something that I would really think that you would really enjoy doing. Plus would be super helpful, especially around this time where a lot of my followers are under quarantine, whether it's self-imposed or medically quarantined. I don't know if any of my followers have the corona. And now I'm not talking about a beer. I wish I was. But I think this could be really helpful. Also, things that can be really helpful is like writing in a journal, um, you know, or if you don't have a journal, just get a piece of paper and start writing your feelings and your thoughts out. That can be super helpful if you're having a lot of stress, anxiety. And with most of the country, they're having to homeschool their kids right now. Like probably 75% of the country is working from home or they've been laid off, unless you're an essential worker. So there's a lot of stress, and these are just some ways that I use to handle that stress. Also, if you live in a household with more than just two people, I mean, that can be stressful. So right now, I have my adult daughter living with me, her child, and of course my husband. So my husband and my daughter both have anger issues. I have a little bit of anger issues, but I can deal with it a little better. So I set down kind of ground rules and said, if you're feeling a certain way, if you're feeling frustrated or mad or pissed off, um, or overwhelmed, I said, or someone's upset you, like for instance, I said to my daughter, if daddy is treating you like you're 5, then you need to go and tell him, hey, I feel like you're treating me like a kid and I'm an adult and I just want to let you know this really hurt me, my feelings or whatever. Or if I'm like, hey, I'm the only one cooking and doing dishes, let's help mom out, then we have this open dialogue. So I think that's really important. Especially when there's a lot of people out there who like to stuff down their feelings instead of talking about them and bringing them out in the open. I mean, if you have to cuss in the living room for 30 minutes, then that's what you need to do. I personally am not a big fan of swearing, but I do on occasion have some slippage. But I'm just saying, have an open dialogue with the people you live with, especially if you're quarantined with them, because that can turn a bad situation into an ugly one really quickly. So keep the lines of communication open. And if you have problems with confrontation, like I do, sometimes if you just write down what's bothering you and just say, this is what's bothering me, and hand them the piece of paper, and then maybe you could be like, let's discuss. For some people that works, for some people it doesn't. So, and we're trying to go for a walk, sometimes as a family, sometimes as just me and Marty, every day, as long as it's not pouring down rain, just to kind of get out of the space, get some fresh air, sunshine. As long as that's allowed in your town, I would say absolutely go for it. Go outside. If you smoke, go outside and have a smoke. Get away from the people that you live with just for a few minutes, and that will do a bunch for your mental health. So, I did my little shtick about the COVID-19, the dreaded virus. As most of you know, I was sick a couple weeks ago. However, it was just like an infection in my lung. I did not have the COVID. Now it's kind of, and you have to understand, the people in my family have a wicked ass weird sense of humor. So now if someone sneezes or coughs in the house, the adults go, oh, it's the COVID. Like I said, wicked and dry sense of humor. But it's funny to us. It makes us laugh, gives us a little giggle, and we all need to laugh at this period of time. So let's change the subject, shall we? So there are some products that I have been loving for a long time. And in my makeup world, a long time is like 3 months. So some of these products I've had for a very long time. And I've known about them for a very long time. So I just want to share some of the things that I'm loving right now. And so let's do the lips first. So this is a lip sleeping mask by Laneige. And I don't use this as a lip sleeping mask. I use this. Oh, one moment, please. Well, that was my snappy husband telling me it's time for the dreaded diaper change. I've almost gotten rid of all the crappy diapers. And this is my version of crappy. I know that some people love Parents' Choice, but they do not hold up to my Pampers. And that is just my personal opinion. If that's what you use and you love it, great for you. But for my peeing baby girl, who is like, you'd think I slipped her some Lasix. But no. My granddaughter can pee like an Olympian. I don't know what that means, but she can do it. So, okay, what was I doing? Oh, yes. The Laneige. I use it for, I've had this almost a year. And, I mean, that's all I use, and I use it every day. But I do use it at night, but most of the time, I use it in the morning because my lips are super, super, super dry. I use a CPAP machine, and it dries out everything. And then the other lip product that I really love is by IT Cosmetics, and it is called the Je ne sais quoi lip balm. And I've had this a year, and I still have a good majority of it left. It's one of my favorite things to open and close because it has a magnetized cap, and I could just do this all day long. But it does mess with my misophonia. So I can't do that very much. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to kill myself. Okay. I have two, like primers, setting sprays, things that I really like. One is by Smashbox, and there's the Photo Finish Primer Water. It's a set and refresh. I really like this. I use it as a primer water. I also use it as a setting spray. I also use it. I spray my brush when I want it to foil out my shadow. I think I even use it whenever I'm doing like taking my Bare Minerals and putting a little bit in the cap to make eyeliner. I really like it to do that. And then the other one is my standard go-to MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. And I don't use that as a primer or a setting spray. I use it primarily to wet my brush. And then as far as eye creams go, I highly recommend this. It is good, it is wonderful, and it is expensive, but it is definitely worth it. This is the Tatcha, the Silk Peony Eye Cream, and it is very balmy, but it's lasted me. I've had this for months. It's lasted and lasted and lasted. So it is really, really nice. Okay, my favorite primer, can I say primer? My favorite bronzer is by Marc Jacobs, and it is the 102 Tantric Omega Bronze. Now this is a little pricey. I paid like, I think $45, $50 for it, but the amount of product you get is ridiculous. I mean, look at the size of that pan. It is huge. I've had this for a little over a year, and although I don't use bronzer every day, but it is really good. And you get 25 grams of product, which is 0.8 ounces. And then it does say that it's good for 12 months. But I think unless it starts smelling, I'm not going to get rid of it because it was so pricey. I'll do the smell test. Yep, no smell. We're all good. And I like that it snaps closed like this. Try to pop it open. So when you close it, it snaps closed. It's not like a magnetic closure. It is literally a snap. I love that. We're going to leave the blush for last because that is the most products I have to show you. I have one liquid eyeshadow that I really love, and it's basically just liquid glitter. And it's called Ice Queen. And it's by Too Faced Cosmetics. And it's called Liquid Glitter Eyeshadow. And I'm going to swatch it on the back of my hand. So it's basically, it doesn't really have any opacity. It's basically just a glitter. But I really like it. Especially that I don't have to put eyeshadow or glitter primer on because it's already got the adhesive adhered to it. Okay, now I have one eyeshadow palette to show you that I have really loved for a solid year. And that is the Huda Beauty. And I believe it's called the New Nudes palette. Yeah. The only thing I don't like about this is this what is this called? Concealed. Because, I mean, really, first of all, powders are going to get in there. This color is not good for everybody. I mean, it's good for me because, you know, you can't get much whiter than me. Not unless you're a piece of pork, and that's the other white meat. But I love these colors. I think they make a really good, nice, smoky, little glam, soft glam look. I did a glam look on soft glam on my daughter recently using this palette. And these are not really her type of colors, but she absolutely loved that look. So if I can find a dupe for that palette, we're going to go ahead and try it. Because I like to spoil my daughter, even though she is free white and over 21. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't. All right, so let's talk about blush. So was it last month? No, it's still this month. In one of, I think it was in my Boxy Lux. I got this blush. This is by Elizabeth Mott, who I have one of her brushes, but I did not know that she made makeup. But this is amazing blush. I don't do peach. I'm not a peach blush girl. Just not. But this one is called a peach pink blush. And it is kind of amazing. So, has a little shimmer in it. But, I mean, it's really good. And I will support anyone who, I think Elizabeth Mott is from Hawaii. So I will support my Hawaiian sisters as much as I can. So, but this is called Show Me Your Cheeks. And I really, really like it. And then some months ago, ColourPop came out with the, I think it was the Strawberry Shortcake collection. And I bought a couple of blushes from them. Well, actually, I think I bought the entire collection. And the two blushes were called See You Later and Shortcake. And they kind of look very similar. So that's Shortcake. And that's See You Later. See, they're very similar, but I like both of them because I like a nice pink blush. Okay, and then my very last favorite blush is something I bought for myself for Christmas. You know, sometimes you can't always rely on your man to buy you some good makeup. Now, mine does because I'm all like, I want that for Christmas. And he actually listened this year and got me the Fenty palette. The only problem is I got that Fenty palette in my Oxy Premium. So then I had two. But then I gave one away. So this is from Hourglass. Hi, how are ya? Has 4 blushes in it. And I absolutely I love all these blushes. I mean, they all have a different tone. We have this little pinky one here. And this is more of a nude. More kind of terracotta. But you know, the thing about it is that I mix all of those colors together and then I get this blush on my cheeks. I love this blush. It is amazing. I would highly recommend it if you can afford it. This quad was like $58 and I almost wet my pants, but I was like, I want it so bad. And it's a Christmas present for me. So that's why I got it. Normally I could not, I really couldn't justify spending that kind of money on a blush palette, but and not like I needed another one, but it was so good. And then, of course, I've loved this for a long time, the Goof Proof Brow Pencil from Benefit. Use it almost every day. Of course, I don't go anywhere without my brows. It just doesn't happen. Okay. So, I would love to know how are you handling the COVID crisis? What are you doing to keep yourself sane? So share your tips, comment, and leave the comments and comment below. That way, everyone, all my subscribers can see what you guys are doing to keep yourself occupied, busy, or how you're handling this coronavirus situation. As always, I love you guys. I want you guys to stay safe. And if that means having to stay inside, by all means, stay inside. If that means you have to work outside the home, just, follow the mandates that are being set before you. I love you guys, and I'm thinking about all of you. And massive mad love to all of you guys. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!